My name is Oben Naomi. I school at Somerset Bilingual High School. I'm in Form 5.
My name is Elitres Monono and I am 24 years of age.
I'm 17 years of age.
Yes, I am a student. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not.
Me, I think a period is when a woman is, I think when you're mature and you start, there's a flow of blood that comes out through your vagina, and I consider that as menstruation.
I understand that it is time when a girl child has become matured, because menstruation actually helps to prepare the womb for conception. So that's what I understand by menstruation.
I started menstruating at the age of 13.
I would say at the age of 12. Yes, 12. I was 12 years old.
When I started seeing my menses, I was really shy to tell my mother for about a year. And at that time, my elder sister just gave birth to her first child. So I was still her napkin, her child's napkin, and use it as my own part because I was shy to tell my mother or my father or anyone at home. So I used that for a very long period of time. And one day, my dad saw how I washed the pieces and I dried them in my room. So when he saw the stuffs, he called me and he tried asking, what's that? Are you seeing your menses? Have you started menstruating? I refused because I was shy. I didn't know I'm going to tell my father that, hey, Naomi is already, so I refused. When my mother heard the conversation between me and my father, she called and she asked, are you seeing your menses? I said, no, Mama. She had to be that friendly. She tried petting me, so I said, yes, I'm menstruating. So since then till now, she has been the one getting my pad for me.
No, I did not have any challenges getting sanitary pads every month because when I started menstruating, my uncle's wife was present. So she actually told me what menstruation was all about. She taught me how to pat myself, and she told me that whenever I see my period, I should go to my uncle. But it was quite difficult because he was a man, so I kind of felt ashamed. So it wasn't actually easy. After the first 2 months, it was difficult getting sanitary pads. Yes, I have experienced period shaming before, a lot actually. Growing up, when I started seeing my period, in secondary school, all the boys in my class usually laughed at me because I usually get stained. I didn't know when my period was going to start. I did not know how I was going to calculate my period, so I didn't even know what was happening. It got to the point where I wasn't even able to move from where I was sitting because I was so ashamed that they were going to laugh at me. So I usually ask my girlfriends to watch me while walking to see if I'm stained or something. So period shaming for me was a really big deal.
Yes, twice. Today and when I was in Form 2. When I was in Form 2, my school skirt was stained by the menses. So I didn't know, and there was this group of guys in my class. They started laughing, and my friend told me that those guys over there are actually laughing at you. So I got so angry and I walked up to them. Why are you guys laughing at me? And they tried talking back. I had to slap one out of anger and we started fighting. Then the whole class gathered and everybody was looking at me. Then my friend had to pull me from behind and said, Naomi, your dress has been ruined. Then that shame, everyone had seen everything and I had to leave quietly. And as I was walking away, the guys were laughing. They were laughing and I got on my soul, cried. And today, oh my goodness, today I went to school. Actually, my pad got finished yesterday, but I felt somehow to tell my mother that my pad is finished. So I had to use my hose to pat myself to school this morning. So as I was attending my classes, I felt this pain. So I said, let me use the toilet. As I got up, my classmate followed me and said, Naomi, your dress has been seriously rode behind. You just have to go home. I had to go take a permit to come home. And with what is happening in Boya today, all the roads are blocked. So we had to pass a very long road to come to the house. And I was dropped at a junction. So on the way coming, like, because I was sitting, the pad got soaked the more, and my dress was really a mess. I had to walk home. Like, I was walking and people are looking at me. Hey, when I got home, I went to my mom's room. I was like, I should cry. She said, Naomi, I'm in the house. Not like she traveled, she's in the house, and my pad got finished, and I didn't walk up to her and say, Mama, this is what is happening. I had to use my hose, and I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed today. So it's a bad experience. So bad.
Yes, I do have an alternative to sanitary pads. That was back then, I must say. During that period where I was so ashamed to talk to anybody about my menstruation, not even my mom nor my dad. It got to the point where I started using tissue paper to pad myself. It got so serious that it got to the point where I did not have money to buy tissue papers. I know in Cameroon here it's just 300 francs to get toilet tissue, but I could not use it because I didn't have money. So for some days when I did not have toilet tissue nor pad, I would just not go anywhere and stay at home. So I would usually visit the toilet like after every 1 hour to bathe myself. Yes, I have been staying in a public place before. I've been staying in church. Thank God it wasn't that heavy. So when I got stained, actually I realized that I started seeing my period because I kind of feel wet down there when I start seeing my period. So I actually went to one of my pastors who was a female because I kind of felt somehow talking about it with a guy. So I went to my pastor and thank God our church usually has a supply of sanitary pads kept somewhere. So I usually go to her whenever I get stained in church. Well, getting stained in school was a really bad experience for me because I didn't have any other option than to go home. So seeing that, I noticed that I usually get stained in school. I developed the habit of coming to school with 2 pullovers so that whenever I'm seeing my period, I could actually tie the other one around my waist just so it would enable me finish my classes for the day, because our school did not have supply of sanitary pads for the young girls.
No, they don't. They only grant you a permit, and they always tell us to carry our extra pads, extra pad with us. But unfortunately for me, I didn't have one today, so they don't.
There have been great changes so far. For when I started seeing my period up until now, I am bold enough to talk about my period to my friends who are males, to my teachers, to my parents. So there is no shame in talking about my period with other people.
I'm not comfortable at all. No, I hate when people know that I'm in my period. I just hate it. I always, like I said, I always carry an extra pad to school. So I don't like when my friends just open my back like that. There was this time I had a serious conflict with my own best friend, who is a female, because she had to open my bag and see a pad inside. I was so angry with her. She was like, I'm a woman. I know you use pad, and I use pad as well. So why are you angry? I say, it's my privacy. That was the word I used. I think it's my privacy. I don't want it. And so I don't like it. I don't want anyone to know about it. I think it's only my mom that has to know, because she's the one that is providing the pad.
Yes, I have had to miss school or another appointment because of my period. Not necessarily because of the period per se, because of the pains I feel during menstruation. I remember how I usually skip school for 5 days plus because of the cramps that I have. It becomes so severe that I even have fever because of the pains that I face during menstruation. So I've had to miss so many appointments, including my classes, because of my menstrual cramps.
Today, I missed school. I had to leave my classes, my important classes, because my dress was rude. So
I change my pads 3 times a day. The reason why I say I change my pad 3 times a day is because I do that now. Back then, about 2 years ago, I wasn't able to change my pads 3 times in a day. I usually change my pad 2 times in a day. Sometimes I even change it once in a day. Why? Because I didn't have money to buy sanitary pads. Some people might feel like getting 600 francs to buy sanitary pad is nothing, but it's a big deal. You might have that money at the beginning of the month, but when it's time for your period, that money is just not there anymore. So it has really been difficult getting by with having a constant supply of sanitary pads per month.
3 times, like when I get up in the morning, I bathe, I go to school, come back, I bathe, I change. Before sleeping, I make sure I bathe again, and I change 3 times.
Yes, I have been faced with the challenge of having clean water during menstruation. The place where I live in Cameroon has an issue with water, so getting by from day to day with clean water is a problem. So we're having to go to stream. So as a woman, I know I'm supposed to take my bath at least twice a day, whether I'm menstruating or not. But it gets really difficult, especially during my period, when I don't have a constant supply of clean potable water. So I actually take my bath once every day.
Yes, living in Moliko, I think you testify of that. There are times when I come back from school and there is no water, even the want to drink. There are days where I bathe just once and it's not proper because there is no water.
Yes, I do experience cramps during menstruation, severe cramps actually. I still experience the cramps right up until now. Now, whenever I experience cramps, what I do is I make sure that I have warm water. It's either I just drink warm water, or I use probably a Lipton, or I take a bath with warm water, very warm water, just so it could help me with the pains that I'm feeling. And sometimes also I do get to buy painkillers, but because I do not have money to constantly buy painkillers, I just no money to even purchase water, because whenever we do not have water at home, I'll have to go buy a bottle of water just to use to bathe myself. So whenever I don't have water, no money to buy drugs, I just let it go and I survive for the entire day like that.
I don't experience menstrual cramps during menstruation.
I wouldn't say that my school nor church has medications to give young girls during that period, because I can still remember that while I was in secondary school, we didn't have a supply of medications for girls who are going through cramps. The only thing we had, though, was paracetamol, but back then I didn't know what paracetamol was all about, so I didn't know that there was paracetamol in the office. But when I did get to the university, yes, we did not have a particular office where we could go get medications for whenever we have cramps, but our school actually has a clinic where you can actually go there in case you need anything. So yes, I can say that they did have a supply of medications, but not every single girl child knew about that. I have never had to get into an uncomfortable situation with any man just because I did not have provision for sanitary pads. No, I've never had to get to that point.
My own point of view, I think parents should be, they should be more friendly with your children when they start getting to a certain age, because had it been my mother didn't call for me and try to be soft on me, I would have denied. But because she was so soft and she had to buy me something, she had to buy me a gift, that was why I had to open up to her. So I think parents should be nice on their female children.
So the advice I want to give to the young ladies out there is for you to be open. Because I was too shy to talk about my period, it got me into a whole lot of mess. And it got me into experiences that I still cannot shake it off my head because of the period shaming and everything. So I would really advise that some of us out there who have started seeing our periods should be bold enough to talk. And for the parents also, especially our mothers in the house, they should be able to tell their children the truth about menstruation, otherwise they're going to learn it from somewhere else. I also want to say to all my friends out there who are experiencing period cramps that just in case you do not have money to get pain killers or pain relief medications, nor have water to probably help you with the pain, you can as well as do something as little as just massaging your lower abdomen. It really helped me a lot. I think that's one thing I left